story will be called the seed planting, maybe. It started with my dad while I was in the middle of my plant healing journey and establishing Grow and Steady, my houseplant business. He said to me, "Why don't you make a baby food product using bananas?" To be honest, at first I kind of filed it under Dad's random ideas, alongside, what else? You should grow coffee, and maybe you should help grow save the next species of dying kaimoana. But there was something about this baby food idea that really, really resonated with me and stuck with me. And so from there, I started navigating some of the connections that were popping up, and yeah, I'll tell you in the next story. When Tony meets science, or Tony meets Jane. This connection became more than just a connection. I consider it actually whānauship now. But yeah, in 2021, I went to meet Jane. Initially, I was drawn to tissue culturing bananas, so I got to meet her in tissue culturing capacity. And then I was so keen to see how the bananas developed after that I went all the way down to Palmy, where she is, and yeah, I got to go and see the bananas in their next stage there in tissue culture. And then it kind of developed from there, where Jane introduced me to her student, who I'll tell you about in the next story. We'll call this one Meeting Simone. So Jane introduced me to her master's student, Simone, who began studying the impact of Aotearoa grown bananas on the gut microbiota of infants. When I first went to Simone's presentation, her first one, I was in awe. She is just seriously amazing, where she's come from to get to where she is. And both her and Jane actually inspired me to see beyond just a product. So from there, I went inward and envisioned, I'll tell you in the next story. I'd like to call this one the double-hulled waka. I began to see this vision as a double-hulled waka. One hull, the product, a locally made gut-nourishing baby food rooted in whanaungatanga. The other hull, the pathway, learning how to commercially grow bananas here in Aotearoa, especially in the far north. While Simone continued her studies, I followed every synchronicity, every conversation, every connection, and it led me here. The banana whānau, or the grower whānau. I connected with some incredible local banana growers. Kara, who is now basically my banana girlfriend. Vonnie, who is just always a visionary. Grant and Awanui. Neil at Doubtless Bananas. Some family friends, John and Jenny, who've been growing bananas for years and years. Jeff and Roslyn, the potters at Sunrise Bananas. Realize he came after this particular timeline, but he's banana whānau. The thing with bananas in NZ is there's been a lot of mislabeling over the years. So we wanted to figure out which bananas are best to grow for our conditions. This one, Simone's Masters. So Simone and Jane DNA analysed some of the NZ bananas, and then Simone finished her masters, whoop, whoop, and I was lucky enough to go along and watch Simone present her findings. Honestly, I was just like so proud. But yeah, I'll share a little snippet of Simone presenting.
Aotearoa bananas, freedom for gut microbiota. This research story doesn't start with me. It starts with the Austin whānau. One of the fruits that the Austin whānau are passionate about growing are bananas. Tony, over there somewhere, pictured here with her tamariki. In particular is passionate about growing a banana product for infant feeding.
Call this one planting bananas. Through markets that she runs, like the plant extravaganza in Hamilton, I met Anna Marie, who was keen to learn whatever it took to tissue culture bananas. It's way harder than it seems, and like I'd really struggled. So around this time, with the help of plants from people like Daryl at Aotearoa, we planted 300 or so bananas on my whānau's land in Awanui. This is the moment that really, really tested me. There's been many, but this one around this time really did. Call this one setbacks and burnout. Things got hard, like really, really hard. Sometimes people just aren't as genuine as they seem, and the financial toll was hitting hard, so I took that upon myself, hit burnout, and slipped into self-sabotage. But here's the thing about living in a small community. The whenua really grounds you. The people like teach you resilience. The whānau lifts you through connection. So I went inward again, and I kept holding the vision steady, patiently, while others brought their hands, heart and expertise to help shape it. We'll call this one Big Vision, Nuck the Money. Yeah, so the thing with like having a big vision, it's free. Everything else to bring it alive costs money. So now with like $0 in the bank, it just added to the challenge and made it even heavier. But thankfully, through my sister, I connected with Blair and Sarah. They brought strategic thinking that was needed to help navigate funding, while also trying to keep the kaupapa's mauri intact. They have been so much more than just consultants. They get it. They really get it. We'll call this one the Banana Seminar and Māori TV. Yeah, so we organised a banana seminar at my family gardens with the help of Jane, Matt, Peter and John. This is where I connected with Matt, an Australian expert in many fields, particularly banana grower trials. That day they filmed a piece for Homeland and Sea, Māori TV, Northland Bananas. This experience was actually incredible, and it really helped me to start picking myself up again and keep paddling. Getting pretty closer to like current day now. We'll call this one Waka's launching, or close to it. Yeah, slowly and steadily I started reconnecting with myself. But to be honest, these past few months have been really, really tough personally, but also transformative. So step by step things are moving. The baby food waka has now been put in the water, and Blair and Doug are paddling that waka, and I'll oversee it. As for the pathway waka, that one's been a bit harder to get moving, but it's still alive. The pahi vision. So the grower trial waka has been slow, but I've come to think that it's maybe because it needs more hands to help paddle it. I know this vision is beyond me and my lifeline. I see it like a pahi, a waka, strong enough for oceans, steady enough for distance, and built to carry meaning. This kaupapa has never been just about the destination. It's been about the relationships weaved along the way, the futures we can imagine. Yeah, so if you're carrying a vision that feels too bold, too heavy, too slow, No, you're not alone. Sometimes our job is to keep the fire alive long enough for others to see it and help it grow. So for the past 4 years, this has been a massive journey for me, navigating it, navigating all the relationships, all the systems, people, plants, information, knowledge. It has been huge. It's also just taken a huge financial strain on me, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual toll. But I keep going because I believe in the possibility of a better outcome, not just for me, but for people, places, whenua, whānau, the far north. Yeah, I just believe in a better outcome, and I'll keep going.